Good morning, class. For today's discussion, I will discuss the strategies in developing speaking skills. Before I start the discussion, may I ask one of my students, what is speaking? Okay, Mark. Okay, good job, Mark. So, speaking depends on the context or the situation. Context include the physical environment. And physical are defined as the skills which allow us to communicate effectively. They give us the ability to convey information verbally and in a way that the listener can understand. Yes. And also class, it is very important class to speaking skills are one of the most important skills we learn as they allow us to communicate with others and express our thoughts and feelings. And also class, speaking skills can be separated in formal and informal speaking skills. And that's the two of speaking skills, which is informal and informal skills. So, we use both types of speaking skills in a variety of contexts throughout life. Informal speaking skills are important for conversations with friends and family and helping us to from emotional connection. So the formal speech, when we say formal speech, is like to speech in front of the other people or to send to our friends like greetings like that. So formal speech is on the other hand is necessary for workplaces and presentation or conversation with people you don't know. Formal language is important as it helps us to make a good expression on people and communicate politely. Speaking is described as an interactive process of constructing meaning that involves producing. Speaking is described as an interactive process of constructing meaning that involves producing, receiving, and processing information. So one of the strategies of developing of speaking skills is using minimal responses. It is a good strategy that really works when we have learners who lack confidence in their ability to participate successfully in oral interactions, often listen in silence while others do the talking. One way to encourage such learners to begin to participate is to help them build up a stacks of minimal response that they can use in different types of exchanges. Did you know, class, that we use minimal responses when we talk to English like explain? For example, minimal responses are the words or sounds such as right, okay, yeah, yeah, indicating this interactance intention in communicating. So recognizing as scripts the two of strategies of developing speaking skills is recognizing scripts. Some communicating situations are associated with a predictable set of spoken exchange. As scripts, greeting, apologize, compliments, invitations, and other functions that are influenced by social and cultural norms often follow pattern of scripts. So the transactional exchanges involved in activities such as obtaining information and making purchase. And these scripts, the relationship between a speaker's turns and the one that follows it can often be anticipated. So, a script is the written content for a visual story such as play, television, show, or movie. While scripts often contains information for performers and crew, such as stage directions and production notes. They primarily focus on the dialogue between characters and the story. So, language learners are often too embarrassed or shy to say anything when they do not know understand other speaker or when they realize that conversations partner has not can help students overcome the resistance by assuring them that misunderstanding and the need for clarification can occur in any type of interactions, whatever the participants' language skills levels. Instructors can also give students strategies and phrases to use for clarification and comprehension check. And the four elements of speaking skills class is, number one is vocabulary. Yes, vocabulary. To develop our speaking skills, we first need to know the right words. Vocabulary development begins when we are in France as we learn to describe the world around us and also to communicate our needs. Progress from single words to sentences when children are 2 or 3, at which point they will normally have vocabulary of 150 to 300 words. Vocabulary development is where students understand the meaning and pronunciations of words necessary for communications. When they understand what a word means, they can check what the words or sentences means. This is important so they can keep up a conversation. If they understand what the other person is saying and they know what vocabulary to say back, they are halfway there to communicate effectively grammar. Yes. And number 2 is grammar. You may think that grammar is something we only need for written language, but grammar includes lots of important areas of spoken language, such as an understanding of sentences and the correct way to structure sentences. Grammar. So, grammar helps us to convey information in a way that listener will recognize and understand. Number 4 is pronunciations. Understanding how to correctly pronounce word is another important element of speaking skills. We learn how to pronounce words by listening to those around us, such as our parents, friends, and teachers. And also, if we watch the movie, we learn how to pronounce and to speak English. So pronunciation varies from country to country or even to city to city. A lot of this comes from phonemic awareness. This involves understanding the small units that make up spoken language. English can differ quite a lot compared to other language. First and spellings representing sounds in written language. And the last is fluency. Fluency in spoken language is something that naturally develops as children go through school, as they are using and practicing speaking skills every day, reading widely and out loud. It's a good way to improve fluency as is to introduce children to new vocabulary and reinforce their knowledge of spoken language. And fluency is the ability to hear words and understand them straight away. If they see a word written down, they can read it and aloud and pronounce it correctly or properly. Fluency is the ability to hear words and understand them straight away. If they see a word written down, they can read it aloud and pronounce it properly. Ways to develop this include guiding your students to read passages out loud. You could also get your students to read aloud in front of the class. This builds their confidence and also helps them to announce it better. And the lastly is how to develop English speaking skills with students. So, practice makes perfect when it comes to developing English speaking skills. And listening to English, understand grammar and reading can all help slightly, but they're never going to improve English speaking skills to extent it is possible. That's all for today, class, and the next meeting we have a test about our discussion for today. So, thank you and God bless.